I have been using TruGolf E6 Connect almost exclusively for the past 2.5 years because I genuinely considered it to be the best golf simulation software available. That was all true up until the point that version 2 of the GS Pro software came out late last year. Even though I still maintain an E6 Connect license for testing, Golf Dynasty is now officially switching to GS Pro software for personal use, and in this video, we will be comparing the two software options so you can see for yourself which is the best for you. Now, even though I prefer GS Pro, I still firmly believe that E6 Connect is an excellent choice, and for many people, it will be the best option for them, and by the end of this video, I will make it that much easier for you to decide. Having said that, the Golf Dynasty is all about informing you about all of the options available, and in this video, we are only talking about two of the big options. However, if neither of these work for you because of your unique requirements, feel free to check out the other video on this channel which goes over many other options available which may be more suitable to you. If you already have a launch monitor such as the Garmin R10, Flightscope Mevo Plus, or Uneekor system, the first thing you should consider is whether or not this software is compatible with your launch monitor. GS Pro is compatible with Uneekor, Flightscope, and Ernest Sports launch monitors. E6 Connect is a lot more flexible because it is compatible with the majority of launch monitors including SkyTrack, Garmin R10, Uneekor, Flightscope, and more. If you haven't yet bought a launch monitor, then you are in luck because you have the flexibility of choosing the best launch monitor and software now to make sure that you have the perfect setup. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get right into the biggest reasons why I decided to switch to GS Pro. These software options check off all the right boxes and have all the necessary features for a complete simulator setup. The only downside to GS Pro is that it is not compatible with as many launch monitors. However, if that is not an issue for you, you are in luck. With the newly updated GS Pro 2.0 software, its biggest strength is the level of realism. Both options have excellent 4K graphics, however, in my opinion, GS Pro has more realistic shading that makes things look more lifelike. While E6 Connect has more detail and a sharper image, all of the textures have a slightly arcade-looking effect that I personally don't like as much as GS Pro. To make things even more realistic, GS Pro has far more lifelike physics than E6 does. This is the part that really hooked me. Even though E6 has the option to inflict a penalty for different lies, GS Pro does a far better job of simulating a lifelike hazard penalty if you are hitting from a bunker, deep rough, or from the fringe than E6 does. I also really enjoy the putting in GS Pro. It feels so much more dialed in and realistic to the point that I feel like I am getting much more feedback on what I do right and wrong from the software than I do from E6 Connect. With my massive projector screen in front of me, I can genuinely feel the feeling that I am on the course when I am putting. The realistic physics of GS Pro transfer the details on each course very well. Each course you play on and every green that you experience seems to be so different when playing in GS Pro, which forces you to adapt to the conditions and expand your skill set. E6 Connect, on the other hand, feels a lot more consistent from course to course, which to me is a downside, though some people might prefer that. I personally want my simulator software to represent lifelike conditions as much as possible because I want my simulator experience to transfer over to the course, which is why for me, this is one of the biggest reasons for switching to GS Pro. It's hard to feel the difference unless you try using both simulators for yourself. If you aren't as concerned about this feature, then E6 software may still be a better option for you considering its better compatibility. Another big strength of GS Pro is the practice mode that it offers. The practice session makes light work of having to switch between courses and types of practice by automatically switching the target hole for you when you click the full bag practice mode, which promotes the use of every club in your bag while also stopping you from being too complacent. Another big feature is that GS Pro has an easily accessible ball drop button for when you practice on the course, so you can put the ball exactly where you'd like on a particular hole so you can practice from any lie or distance that you would like on any of the available courses. I found out about this feature after switching to GS Pro and I was so happy that I did because it made this software that much better. E6 Connect has a nice target feature for practice that allows you to pick a hole, which is very nice. However, with the limited practice greens available, I felt like I was practicing too many of the same shot types. Another easy to miss but extremely important benefit of GS Pro is that there is almost no delay between shots. However, E6 Connect stops your momentum during practice dead in its tracks by showing a lengthy shot data screen that gets annoying with time. With GS Pro, you still get to see your shot results, but it doesn't stop you from hitting your next shot. GS Pro, in my opinion, also has a more polished and professional looking user interface while E6 has a dated 90s looking UI. One area where the GS Pro can be improved, however, is the user interface settings of selecting a course, because it doesn't show a picture of the course or give any sort of description like E6 Connect does. In my opinion, E6 Connect seems to provide a more curated selection of rotating courses, which include a nice mix of difficulty, environment, and location, while GS Pro seemingly has a random set of courses that are not as well known. Finally, GS Pro is $250 per year for a subscription, while E6 Connect usually goes for around $300 depending on your launch monitor, so that is one more perk for people switching to GS Pro. In conclusion, GS Pro and E6 Connect are arguably two of the best golf simulation software available. If you value realistic physics and the ability to work on your skills in the simulator while also being able to transfer most of that feedback to course play, then I would recommend that you go with the GS Pro because of its world-class physics. If, however, you value a slightly more laid-back experience with fewer but more well-curated courses, then E6 Connect may be the best choice for you. Finally, E6 Connect is one of the most widely compatible software options available, which makes it the best option for most people. So if you already have a launch monitor, be sure that it is compatible with the software option that you would like to switch to before you make the purchase. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and being supportive of the channel. If you like this content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because I have tons more simulator videos to make like this, and your support means the world to me. But before you go, I hope you check out this video next.